Hi, cozy friends! Fall is almost here, which means cooler weather, cozy drinks, and a ton of new games. I've been digging around and found 20 cozy games I think are perfect for kicking off the season. So get cozy, grab something good to drink, and let's see what we're playing this fall. First up is Tiny Eden. This is an urban garden game where you transform your apartment into your own little green oasis. You'll grow plants from seeds, harvest what you've grown, cook with your ingredients, and gradually expand beyond your apartment onto the rooftop. I really like that we're getting the farming experience without another giant piece of countryside. Just give me a tiny apartment, way too many plants, and absolutely no one questioning my decisions, and I'll be happy. Up next, Museum Disorder. This is a cozy organizing game where an entire museum collection has been thrown into utter chaos. You'll examine paintings, figure out which collections they belong to, and slowly put the museum back together. There's no timer rushing you along, so you can take as long as you need to get everything done. Who doesn't love some organization? In Pipcremental, you have a tiny civilization called the Pibbles living inside a giant tree. You'll gather resources like wood, stone, and food, then use them to construct buildings and expand your little settlement. As your population grows, you can assign Pibbles to different jobs, improve production, unlock upgrades, and gradually reach new areas of the tree. And because this is an incremental game, your Pibbles will keep working and gathering resources even while you're away. I really like the idea of starting with this tiny group of Pibbles and watching their whole civilization slowly grow around you. How cute! Now we're going somewhere tropical with Louie's Lagoon. After receiving a distress call from your Uncle Lou, you arrive at the Limbo Archipelago to find the islands damaged by the storm, and your uncle is nowhere to be found. So while you're trying to figure out what happened to him, you'll explore the different islands, meet their communities, gather resources, craft, fish, and help rebuild everything the storm left behind. You also get this handy little tool called the Swiveler, which basically vacuums up resources like scrap, plants, and materials you find while exploring. You can use everything you collect to repair buildings, craft new items, and upgrade your equipment. You'll even get to build and decorate your own beach hut along with customizing your character. But the thing that really caught my attention, you get your own seaplane. You can fly between the islands, take on flying challenges, and even customize your plane. Tired of walking at that 0.25 speed? I'm looking at you, Stardew. Now we get to fly. Mixed Spirits Bartender is just how it sounds. Running a bar, but your customers are actually spirits. You'll mix drinks for your supernatural customers while talking to them and learning their stories. This is such a fun concept for a cozy game because the bartender is really just the beginning. You are here for conversations, you're here for stories, and definitely here for whatever strange thing walks through that door looking for a cocktail at 2 a.m. Neat is another organizing game, but this one is much more personal. You're helping people clean up their homes, sorting their belongings, and deciding where everything should go. As you organize, you also begin learning about the people who live there through the things that you've collected. I love when games like this sneak storytelling in, so you get more immersion while cleaning a room. Next is Cloud Scrapers, a relaxing building game where you're constructing towers that reach high into the sky. There's resource management and strategy involved, but the whole experience is designed to be much more calmer than a traditional city builder, and I, for one, appreciate that. Sometimes I want to build something without 47 warnings telling me I've done something wrong. Let me build my ridiculously tall tower in peace. Now we're cooking. Tiny Ramen puts you behind the counter of your own little shop. You'll prepare bowls of deliciously crafted ramen, build up your restaurant, and serve your customers. You'll need to keep your warehouse stocked with fresh ingredients, and as your shop levels up, you'll unlock new kitchen upgrades that make cooking easier. Just think about all the different varieties you can make. Shoyu, shio, miso, tonkatsu. These make this game feel like the perfect intro to the season. Next, Grandma left me a building. You'll repair and upgrade the building, collect rent, hire staff, and most importantly, decide who gets to live there. Our potential tenants are a little unusual. You've got eccentric humans mixed in with paranormal creatures like elves and yetis, and we have to actually think about who we put next to each other because the wrong neighbors can create absolute chaos. Then we have Monster Shop. You're serving monsters, managing the store, and dealing with all the odd little personalities that come through your doors. I like shopkeeping games. give me an unusually cute customer on top of that, and I'm in. Of course, we couldn't have a cozy fall list without a proper farming game. Farming Camp follows Alexandra, an ambitious teenager spending her summer at Evertree Farming Camp. The goal is to become the next great Evertree farmer. But you won't be running the farm alone. You'll work alongside other young farmers, assigning chores, solving problems, and building friendships as you learn how to manage the farm together. You'll grow crops, care for animals, fish, attend classes, complete missions, and earn points for your team along the way. There are also different minigames mixed into your days, with everything from cooking, chopping wood, and racing against the clock to get rid of pests. This feels like a nice change from the traditional style. There's a story, a whole cast of campers to get to know, and a little friendly competition tying everything together. A Tale Amidst Memories has a bit of a different vibe from everything else on this list. We play as a little plushie exploring an abandoned attic filled with forgotten memories, all while searching for our childhood best friend. It's a 2D and 3D platforming adventure, so we'll be making our way through these different environments as pieces of the past slowly start to unfold around us. The whole story centers around memories and how they fade over time, the ones we hold on to, and how those experiences shape who we become. I really love games that give us that soft, peaceful atmosphere while still telling a story that gives you a reason to care about the characters. In Nothing Strange Here, you play as an investigative journalist exploring the quirky little town of Larsenet Gap. You'll photograph unusual things, meet the locals, complete quests, and publish stories about what you discover. But what makes this really interesting is that you actually get to decide how you tell those stories. After completing a quest, you can choose from 3 different article styles, and what you can publish changes the town, the conversations you hear, and even how certain areas look and feel. There are also secrets that only appear at certain times of day, stickers to collect, and a journal you can decorate with everything you find along the way. And apparently, there are hidden gnomes everywhere. Because of course there are. I really like this because we still get the cozy small town feeling, but instead of farming, we're grabbing our camera and investigating all the weird little things happening around us. Now we're heading back to the farm with Headlands. This game focuses more on agriculture itself. You restore a neglected farm, plant and harvest fields, sell your crops, and gradually invest in a better machinery. We have tractors. We're serious farmers now. Sometimes we don't need romance. We have wheat to harvest. Dressmaker is probably one of the games I'm most curious about, because we're not just choosing outfits, we're actually getting to make the clothes ourselves. You'll start by designing your own dress in a sketchbook, choosing from fabrics like cotton, linen, silk, wool, and velvet before arranging your patterns, cutting each piece, and sewing everything together. Then you can add all the little finishing touches with buttons, bows, lace, appliques to really make each design your own. The townspeople will also come to you looking for custom dresses for different occasions, and completing their orders earns you money and builds your reputation. I absolutely love this idea. We've had a ton of cooking, farming, and fishing. It's time to make some clothes. And now we're entering the slightly darker side of cozy. Welcome to Elderfield gives us farming, fishing, decorating, relationships, and romance. Basically everything you'd expect from a cozy farm sim. There's just one tiny problem. The town also appears to have supernatural issues. Alongside your normal crops, you can grow things like teeth and eyeballs, raise some very unusual livestock, and deal with tentacles that apparently think your farm is a perfectly acceptable place to grow. Outside the farm, you'll explore Elderfield, investigating mysteries, meeting its strange residents, and face Lovecraftian creatures through turn-based combat. And there is a cozy difficulty option, which I appreciate, because I have crops to tend to. I don't have time to be dying constantly. I love this combination because it takes everything familiar about a cozy farm sim and makes it just a little unsettling. Look to the Birds might be one of the most relaxing games on this list. You play as a young birdier, traveling with your family on a road trip through areas inspired by New England and Atlantic Canada. Along the way, you'll explore 5 handcrafted environments, listening for bird calls and trying to photograph more than 30 different species. Each discovery is added to your bird book, where you'll unlock sketches, notes, and information about the birds you find. And your journal grows. You'll unlock new stops along the road trip, giving you new scenery, new birds, and more of the story to discover. Next, we have the rabbit hall, and this one takes cozy farming in a completely different direction. You play as Sprout, a little rabbit trying to rebuild their home after it was torn apart by the trash panda posse. During the day, you'll grow crops, tend your garden, and set up defensive towers, but where you place everything matters, because that peaceful little farm becomes your battlefield once the sun goes down. At night, waves of raccoons come in trying to steal everything you've worked hard for, and you'll use defenses, weapons, and different plant combinations to protect your harvest. Whatever crops you manage to save can then be used to rebuild the town, restore shops and homes, and unlock new characters and upgrades along the way. Dragon Shelter is a fantasy farm life sim where we're restoring our grandparents' abandoned farm and trying to rebuild the long lost friendships between humans and dragons. You'll grow crops, gather resources, craft, cook, and explore a magical world while slowly bringing the farm and nearby town back to life. But of course, the big draw here is dragons. Each dragon has its own traits and special abilities, and as you care for them, play with them, and build their relationships, they'll actually start helping you around the farm and on your adventures. Your harvest can also be used for cooking, crafting, alchemy, or trading, and the meals you make can strengthen your relationship with the people in the town and even open up new opportunities. And now we're ending with a big one, Planet Zoo 2. We're back to building and managing our own zoo, creating habitats, caring for our animals, keeping our guests happy, and spending entirely too much time making everything look just right. I myself have over 200 hours in the original game, so I'm definitely excited for this one. And we're finally getting something fans have wanted for a long time, fully aquatic animals and actual flying birds. We'll be able to create underwater habitats for animals like sharks and sea turtles, along with customizable aviaries where birds can fly around inside. We're also getting new buildings and landscaping tools, improved pathing, which, if you played the first game, then you know, and plenty of new scenery. But I'm most curious about the new wildlife reserves where we can create natural ecosystems and release our animals into reserves we've designed ourselves. And with career, franchise, and sandbox all returning, I already know I'm going to lose another couple hundred hours to this game. And that, my friends, are the 20 games to keep your eyes on coming this fall. I really like this spread of games. We've got the staple farming, cooking, and organizing mixed in with birdwatching, ghosts, monsters, and somehow we've ended up defending carrots from raccoons and raising dragons. A perfectly normal fall. But now I want to know what you're most excited to play. Let me know in the comments which of these games are going straight onto your wish list. If you enjoy hanging out with me, hit the like button, subscribe, and join our cozy little corner. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.